everyone. This is a video user overview for the 2022 DCFC Solicitation Mapping Tool. This tool can be used to evaluate potential locations for EV fast chargers. This tool can be accessed through our website. The criteria I'm about to go over represents only one of multiple additional factors considered throughout this solicitation. I'd like to take a moment to review the development of the DEP map tool. DEP utilized the M.J. Bradley & Associates ILET model, which ILET stands for Infrastructure Location Identification Tool. DEP used that tool to evaluate what locations would be best to allocate EV fast chargers, specifically looking for areas with high population and commercial activity. DEP utilized the ILET to receive a suitability score for each census tract within all NJ counties. Each census tract was given a score based out of 100, which came from the population density and commercial activity relative to other tracts in their respective county. The map also includes the locations and plan of the planned and existing DCFC stations that are compliant with the EV law. As visible in this preview, all the data on this map is displayed as a heat map. This means that the darker the color of the individual census tract, the higher the suitability score. Each of these tracts were scored within others of the same county. Because of this, all counties have some tracts with a score of 100, and all counties have tracts with lower scores in the 10s and 20s. In addition to the suitability scores, this map also displays planned and existing EV infrastructure, which is compliant with the EV law. These are displayed as the star icons on the map. We will be considering proximity to already planned and existing EV infrastructure when we make our decisions during application scoring. All of the points on the map here are interactable. Clicking on each of them will pull up more information. I'd like to go over some key features quickly before a live demonstration. The first key feature is the layer list. This will allow you to pick individual layers on the map to selectively display. There is also a search function that you can input specific locations or address, and the search function will pinpoint the location and allow you to zoom in on it. And lastly, we have the base map gallery. We will go over this in more detail in the demonstration, but we have 6 options of the maps to be displayed as the background. All of the map layers will display on top of that background map. Some of the maps, like navigation, will show the census tract colors the best, while other ones, like the OpenStreetMap, will allow you to see more location information that will help you identify such things as amenities within walking distance. Lastly, all the tract information that is included on the map is also included on this spreadsheet, which is accessible on the website. The tract data is grouped together in counties, with Atlanta County as the first alphabetically included at the top. If you are curious about county tiers and want to see how they relate to the census tracts, they are included in the rightmost column. County tiers are not included on the DEP map tool, but are separately included on the website. The other key thing about this spreadsheet is the drop-down menus that are included on the top row in gray. These have the icon that looks like a downward-facing triangle at the top of each column. Utilizing these drop-down menus, you can organize tracts by specific final scores, isolate municipalities, or just organize the spreadsheet in whatever way best shows the relevant data for you. If you're looking for something very specific and the map isn't helping you determine that, this would be a good tool for you to use. And lastly, I would like to jump into our live demonstration. As you can see, as the map loads in, the entire state of New Jersey is visible, and each of the census tracts displays in a different color. You can see more information on that color and also information on the points available in this legend here. Next to the legend is the base map gallery. This allows you to change the background of the map. And then in the upper right-hand corner, we have the About section, which includes information on the EV law and the solicitation. Next to that, we have the layer list, which allows you to selectively toggle the displayed layers. Starting with the compliant charging locations, these, as mentioned on the legend, are all the planned and existing compliant charging stations with the EV law in New Jersey. Following that is the suitability score, which is tracked data. Both of these objects can be clicked on for more information. We also have municipal boundaries and county boundaries. By default, municipal boundaries are not included, but can be toggled in the layer list. We also have additional search function and measuring tool and a print option available in this upper right-hand corner. I'd like to review some of the search functions accessible with this map. Say we would like to put an EV charging station at a library in New Jersey. I happen to know one in Burlington County named Crosswicks Public Library. By inputting most of it, you can see that it appears in the bottom corner here. Clicking on it will allow you to zoom right in and see the tract it's located within. Clicking on the tract, which will show in this blue boundary, you'll see that it has a suitability score of 20 and is located within Burlington County in Chesterfield Township. Given that this tract has a suitability score of 20, it would likely not be a priority during our review process and would not be a safe pick if we were considering this to be a place to install and apply for EV infrastructure. What we can do from here is we can search the area around and see if there might be any other locations better suited for EV fast charger infrastructure. Perhaps Mount Holly Township, as we can see right here. If we would still like to install it at a library, we can use the search function to determine if there's a library in Mount Holly Township. What we would have to do is type in Mount Holly and see if anything comes up, and look at that. We have a library located right here within this purple census tract that has a score of 85. This would be a very good tract to apply for. Zooming out, and you can also use the home button to zoom all the way out at once. You can see on the map that the current base map we have included allows for very easy access to understanding the color of the census tracts around. Other tracts can provide additional information, such as OpenStreetMap. While the tracts aren't nearly as visible, the map here includes lots of information on roadways and local locations of interest. To use an example, I'm going to switch back to navigation, which is the default setting, and zoom into Trenton. Well, the track data is all coming up very clearly. It is difficult to see specific details such as businesses or smaller locations of interest. However, if we switch to OpenStreetMap in the base map gallery, we can automatically see all of these icons, which represent various locations of interest, such as places of worship, libraries, parking areas, and even a theater. Zooming in even further, smaller locations begin to appear, and this can be very helpful in determining things such as locations within walking distance for amenities, which is another criteria of our solicitation. So keeping this in mind and using this base map will provide you with other important information beyond just the census tract score. That concludes our general overview of the map functions for the solicitation. If you have any questions, please feel free to email us. And thank you very much for allowing me to go over the general user overview of this map.